Hello geometry students, today's learning target is to solve problem numbers 3 through 8 on the study guide for Unit 7, which is multiplying radicals. If we look at the Canvas page, you'll see the link for radical videos and class notes. When you click that link, you will see that that was the third learning target, and you'll see a video by Ms. Johnson followed by several other videos, and on the right hand side you'll see some class notes. I'm going to click the class notes just to refresh your mind. So if you look at example number 1, you can see that Ms. Johnson multiplied root 4 times root 3 to get square root of 12, and then she broke down the square root of 12. In problem number 2, I like what she did. She highlighted the numbers in front of the radical, so she multiplied the yellow numbers 2 and 3 to get 6. She multiplies the numbers underneath the square root, the 7 and the 5, to get square root of 35. And then she has several other examples. If you look at example number 6, and I'm going to zoom in, she uses the distributive property. And we're going to take a look at some of the examples now on the study guide. So if you look at problem number 3, you can multiply the numbers underneath this radical, so you get the square root of 20. And then using the list of perfect squares, square root of 20 is the square root of 4 times the square root of 5, which becomes 2 square root of 5. In problem number 4, as Ms. Johnson explained, you could multiply the numbers in front of the radical, so you get negative 10. You can multiply the numbers underneath the radical. And in order to do that, I got my calculator out, and I did 6 times 18, and I got 108. So then this becomes negative 10 times the square root of 108. And now we need to break down the square root of 108, and we're trying to find a perfect square in square root of 108. And square root of 108, if I use my calculator, I'm going to try to find the biggest perfect square. And so 108, I'm going to try 36, and I see that that is 3. So that tells me 108 is the square root of 36 times the square root of 3, which is 6 square root of 3. So then this becomes negative 10 times 6 square root of 3, which is negative 60 square root of 3. Now some of you may not have seen that square root of 36 goes into 108. It's possible that you only saw a smaller perfect square. So if I look at my calculator and you didn't find 36, maybe you only found a 9. So then you might have done this problem as square root of 9 times square root of 12. Square root of 9 is 3. And then you have an extra step because square root of 12 breaks down to the square root of 4 times square root of 3, which is then 3 times 2 times the square root of 3, which is 6 square root of 3. So you'll notice that you get 6 square root of 3 either way. The first method of finding the biggest perfect square was a little quicker, but both methods work. In problem number 5, we have to distribute. So I need to multiply those two numbers and those two numbers where I drew the red and blue arrow. So when I multiply the red, again, I want to multiply the numbers in front, so negative 6. And then I want to multiply the numbers underneath the radical, square root of 21. Then when I distribute the negative 3 root 3 to the negative 4 root 12, when you multiply the negative 3 and the negative 4, you get positive 12. And when you multiply the 3 and the 12, you get square root of 36. Square root of 21 does not break down, so I'm just going to copy it. And then this is plus 12 times 6. And 12 times 6 is 72. So then this is your final answer.